Let's discuss few points around troubleshooting. I find that this particular slide is perhaps the most important one in my whole deck, because as you will solve more and more cases, you will realize that sometimes you simply cannot avoid not getting stuck, right? And everyone has their own method of getting out of that rut in a case, but I find that a lot of people end up panicking, which reduces the level of confidence, and even if they are able to come out of it or the interviewer helps them, they're not able to maintain their composure in the remaining part of the case and in the subsequent interviews. So I've come up with this small list of things that you can do if you are stuck in a case. The first thing is segment. A lot of times your case sheet might have things which are not segmented. Okay, so let's say that you are so the first thing So the first useful thing that you can do is segment. A lot of times what happens is that some part of your case might not be well segmented. So it might be that you did ask a question about customers, but you forgot to segment them in a particular way. So let's say age wise or geography wise or even gender wise, right? So if you are stuck and you can't figure anything out, just see if there's certain element of the case, let's say in this case the customer analysis, which is incomplete and can be segmented along different pathways. One of the segmentation might help you in that case. Second is process mapping. See if everything is well mapped out or not, right? If you feel that there is something that you don't understand properly in a case, and ask for the process of that whole situation and then try to map it out. It might be the case that while watching this video, you're not able to completely understand the relevance of what I am saying, but just keep these points in mind so that while doing your case, these can help you out. The third thing you can do is essentially critical comparison or trend analysis, right? As we have discussed before, also, that whenever you have a number, you should try to benchmark them historically to your own history and to the industry. But sometimes the case does not allow you to do that. So if you are stuck, just figure out if there are some idle numbers lying on your sheet which have not been compared or whose trends have not been analyzed till now. That might give you useful leads. The fourth thing, this is the one that I use the most often, which is essentially mini synthesis. So I've already discussed what mini synthesis is or how it can be useful. So whenever you are stuck, you can't think of anything else, mini synthesis allows you to have a breather also, right? Because for 15 seconds you're not solving the case, you're actually recapitulating everything that you have done. It might just help you see something that you might have overlooked till now, and it gives you good 15-20 seconds of time when you're not doing any analysis to think through the problem again. So mini synthesis is something very useful, and you could revisit your objectives. Sometimes there are more than one objective in a case, and you tend to overlook that while solving the case, right? So see if the primary objective and the secondary objective are being met or not. You could also see whether you are solving the case according to the relative priority ascribed to these objectives. I'll take a small example in this case, which I think is quite pertinent. So I was once solving a case that the Indian government wants to set up a airport, okay, and they've asked for your inputs. So like I would solve this case. I first asked for, okay, so what's the objective of setting this airport, and the primary objective was creating more jobs. Okay, so jobs was the primary perspective. So while we looked at other things, we solved the case after 10-15 minutes. I was able to narrow it down to 5 possible locations. Okay. So the interviewer gave me that these are the 5 shortlisted locations. We have to pick one. Now, I had done a course in college about airport design. So I was pretty happy. I was pretty confident that I can do the whole analysis now, right? I know I've done it for 4 months. Uh, 5 7 minutes down the line, I was still nowhere, and that's when the interviewer, who in this case was my friend, reminded me that hey, go back to your primary objective. You are trying to solve this case from a technical perspective, whereas you have a specific problem at hand. Essentially, the 5 airports had to be evaluated on the basis of their job creation potential. Right. So if your case is growing haywire, you can remember this one example that I have, that revisiting your primary and the secondary objective might be a useful thing to do. So just remember these 5 points when you are stuck. They might be a lifesaver and a job giver for you. Thank you.